Hello, everyone. My name is Kate Kolfelo Golodzi, the author of a book titled December 2000. As we are celebrating 5 years of its launch, of its initial launch, we are also launching Authentic Conversations with Kate, a space where we'll be having authentic conversations that are about to transform and to empower individuals. Today, I'm joined by our very special guest, says Portia, and I'll hand over to her to introduce herself.
Hi, sis Kate. How are you today?
I'm great, great, great.
I'm good, my queen. Thanks for inviting me to your very first podcast. I'm happy to be part of the authentic conversations with Kate.
Yes. Thank you very much for coming.
It's an honor.
As I've already said, this is a space where we are going to have authentic and real conversation, hard conversations that are not really easy to have, open conversations. And I invited you because I understood that you know me better and you've been in my journey for so long.
Yes.
And I knew that you are the perfect person for us to unpack the conversations, linking it to December 2000 and my stories.
Oh, thank you so much, Kate.
Yes.
So tell me, why the podcast? Why the podcast?
As I said, we are celebrating 5 years of launching December 2000. The initial reason for me to writing December 2000 was to ensure that so many people get impacted by my story. A story of a young girl who was sexually assaulted at 9 years, at 12 years, became a teenage mother and got infected with HIV, but somehow managed to come back to everything. As we are celebrating 5 years, we did a deep reflection and realized that perhaps we're not reaching as much people as we can.
Yeah.
And a podcast became a very relevant and I don't know what to say. I don't know which way to use, but it became a relevant and accessible platform that people can use so that we get to impact more people. So basically, the podcast is just to go back to the conversations that we had in December 2000 as a book, but now as a form of recording, but also bringing about like people will be speaking to my experience coming from a well-informed background.
Yes.
I think this is just the beginning of a good safe space that will speak real conversations, and I like it because it's going to be like real conversations. The reason I brought you here was I know that you always say, you inspire me. But then you always say I inspire you. So I would like us to go just deep into what was your first experience with me? How did it come about? How did you find the book? And let's just go deep into it.
Oh, okay. The first time I met Kate, it was, I think there was an event in my family, since you are my cousin's best friend. So I saw you. The first day I saw you, we were sitting somewhere and then we had a conversation. Things that, young as you were, things that you were telling me, like I was shocked, this brave woman, young, and things that you told me, they happen in your life. I was in disbelief. I thought maybe you were just having a conversation. It's not, because the person that I saw, it's not the same. Like when you were narrating the story, it's not the same person. Yeah, you can't tell. So that I saw. Yeah, no, you cannot judge a book by its cover, and you will never know hore someone is going through this and that until babolela ka yona. So yeah, I saw this strong woman oloring ufitile through a lot that I don't know. I thought it's strong, but this one, no, I can't. But at the same time, in Pile, that thing, you know what is possible, black child, and then so a lot happened, and the good thing, at least in another bed, you just told me I've never experienced, but give only the good. So that thing gave me this thing, it's possible, black child, and coming from Mokopani, small town, but here you are, Kate, a mother, a wife, but you managed to get ditoro tsa gago, you achievile. goals, some of your goals, tailoring no the way, or I want to have this and this and this. So out of everything that you went through. So yeah.
Yeah, my story, sometimes people, I even myself get to say, but I don't feel like I passed there, because I don't know, maybe I was special made.
Yeah.
I get to forget, like, oh, it happened, yes, I know it happened. I'm not doubting it, I know it happened, but it doesn't really get to affect me. I think that's a special skill that I have.
Yeah, you
But
do.
maybe the other thing was that helped me was just to speak about it, like
Yeah.
to say, oh, this happened to me, but also finding strength in using it as a healing. And I see you have my book in your hand,
Yes.
December 2000. I don't know if we can just go deep into it. Maybe the
Yeah.
chapters that you touched you.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
maybe if someone is to buy this book and you'll say, please go and read this chapter.
Yeah.
Because it speaks about this, and then, yeah.
The first thing, I bought this book because every time we were having conversations, I was getting this. So, Peggy, I'm launching a book. I was first group, if I'm not mistaken, to be delivered this book. I wanted to know more. Like, I want to know. I want to know more, because most of the time we don't have time. It's just that time rules are here and there. So I wanted to know what happened. So the first thing in teaching is the rape at that age. So I got scared, since I think my child, when was it launched? I think
And 5 years back.
5 years, yeah, she was around
The age.
yeah, because now she's 14, so it was somewhere there. So I thought, okay, is this thing possible? Like, can a child at that age rapiwa? So in Chushije, to be honest or no, yeah. Because we know there's rape, but you don't think it will happen to like someone that you know, okay. We just read about those things in the newspapers or whatever, but I saw someone that I was close, this happened to me, and with someone very close, like it was not a stranger, but it was someone close. So it's interesting,
And
like
in your home.
in your home,
In your home,
you
where
know,
you're supposed to be more safer.
So
Yeah.
I was paranoid a bit, because I didn't want my daughter
To go
to go
through.
anywhere, like to visit, even at school. I'm still, she's 14, but I'm still, this year she started high school. Like I'm still, I guess happy say lo.
Yeah.
So yeah, that thing no, yeah.
I can just imagine also with the
It's-
reality that we
yeah.
are living with, like South Africa is not a safe space,
Yeah.
especially for women. But I can just imagine just bringing it to say, oh, it happened to someone that I know, but it's
know.
also happening everywhere,
Everywhere.
in the country and everything. I can really imagine how it affected
Yeah,
you.
it really did, because yeah. So, and another thing, it was the HIV part that because the first time you told me about, like we were talking, and you were still young, like you were young, you were not this old, yeah, you were still young, but you had so much confidence, like talking about it. It's like you are talking about it, like you are not talking about you. You didn't have this, the stigma, and where we live. I know Ranila Lodi change here and there, but there's
that
still
time,
this thing, man. It's not like you were just flowing. How did you do that?
I think I was one of the luckiest when it comes to my HIV diagnosis, because it was 2018, almost 10 years now, almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh, 2008.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, almost 20 years. So in the next 3 years, I'll be 20 years,
yes.
living with HIV. So when I found out, it was that time when the stigma was too high. And when you really find out something like this, and you have no knowledge about it, the only thing that you know is that HIV kills.
Yeah.
And that time we used to call it AIDS, not even HIV.
Yeah.
And everyone would say, like, my biggest fear that time when I walked out of that room, it was like, I'm gonna die. But my other biggest fear was like, I'm gonna get sick and people are going to see me and they're going to judge me, because you could, like, when you get sick and then people will say it's AIDS and all those kind of things. But I found out in December 2009, and then in February 2010, July 2010, I was recruited to be part of the, to be trained as a counselor for HIV, and that's where I've got to learn a lot. But the first test, I did not accept it. I remember it was December. February, I went to another doctor. I didn't go to the same hospital. I went to another doctor just to confirm, am I really HIV? And then the result came back, and they were still positive. And that's when I did the CD4 count. But you remember that time, it was like you can test the CD4 count and then come back after 6 months. It was not test and treat. But my breakthrough was when I really did the counseling, and I learned a lot about HIV and how it worked. And it gave me strength to speak about it. And when I was testing people, I would also refer to my experience to say, but I'm also like this. Especially in difficult cases where you find people not being able to accept that this is really happening. In our society, it was not easy. You rather call it mahoma, you rather come up with so
names,
many things to say, but no, like it was not easy. And it's not an easy thing to accept. Why? Because it's attached with so much shame. It's attached with sin. We are told, Uri, you only get this disease because you're sleeping around. That's how we think about people who are HIV positive. But then I got to learn that you can sleep with one person and still end up HIV positive. Sometimes you cannot even have sex but still end up HIV positive. People get HIV positive, HIV in different way. You can be involved in an accident, and that really helped me. But the main thing was to be able to go through the teachings, understanding what is it, understanding the difference between HIV and AIDS. That was also another thing. But accepting that, okay, this is where I am and what is it that I'm doing now. And then in 2017, when they introduced the test and treat, that's when I finally went and got my treatment. But I've accepted it, and I decided to speak publicly about it. It was one of the hardest things.
I'm proud of you.
It was one of the hardest things because the stigma attached to HIV. Even now, when you speak about HIV, people speak up whatever they say. And even now, it becomes more difficult to speak about it because I'm married. And and when you say I'm HIV positive, they diagnose even your partner. And that it's possible that he's negative, but he will be diagnosed because of me. But then we had to speak about it, and then he at least became comfortable with it because he knew who I am before he even got married. So
Oh, that's nice. And story telling someone out there, if you are listening, look at Kate. Can you tell?
I don't believe there are still people who are not taking their medication. I'm like, we're in 2025, guys. Like, really?
Really?
One of the most manageable diseases
is HIV.
So
yes.
You can't choose to die.
Exactly.
And
you have an option to live until Mudima decides.
You get it.
Yeah. And then, like you mentioned, or now you are married. And I wanted to ask, before you were married, the relationships, how to break your status, your HIV status. How was it like?
It was not easy.
After how long do you like dating, or before, same day?
It was not easy.
What's going on?
And I feel like so many people are still struggling with that, even now. But as I grew and I get to understand my condition, I got to a point of saying, when you say hi, and then I'll say, what is your name? I'll say, my name is Kate. I have 3 kids and I'm HIV positive.
Aww.
So you choose whether you're continuing with the conversation or going back. That helped me a lot in managing disappointments, because once we go out on dates, like second date, third date, and then I have expectations, and immediately when I say I'm HIV positive, you are like, I can't be attacked. So I learned to say, my name is Kate, I have 3 kids and I'm HIV positive. And it worked. So you'll be rejected, and you can't blame people for choosing not to be with you. It's their preferences. But because it's rejection, it's painful. But you have to get to that point where this is my condition, and people might not prefer to be with me, and it's okay still. You get it?
And you can still keep that beautiful smile of yours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
So
worked.
it worked.
Yeah.
And going back to the issue, yeah, the rape, ne? How did the family take it? Ba itjere jwang, the whole thing, because it was someone that
Was very
was
close.
very close to you. So it affected jwang, the relationship, the family. Good at that. I need to understand that.
Yeah, and it's something that is happening in many families. I feel like, but also even the statistics shows that, especially young girls are getting assaulted by people who are closer to them. So with my case, if I don't know if you remember in the book, I said I didn't speak for 17 years. I was assaulted first in 2000. December 2000.
Yeah,
That's why the title of the book, to the December 2000, because that's the time my life changed. The way I saw things, everything changed around that time, and I didn't speak about it. What I did, I would cry. There were signs that there's a problem.
Something's not right.
If it's me, I will see those because I've been through the same journey. But people who have not been there,
Been
they
this-
could
yeah,
not see.
yeah.
And 17 years later, I had my first mental breakdown.
Yeah.
And that's when my family got to know, or this happened to
happened.
me 17 years back.
Yeah.
The unfortunate part was that the guy who did these things had passed away already.
Oh.
So it's my story against no
You know,
one.
yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
it was an issue of, did this really happen? And because I struggled with mental health for so long, people with mental health, like, they have character problems.
Yeah.
And everyone will link whatever that I'm saying with my character, which was trauma informed, and they will doubt me. But I knew that was my truth.
Exactly.
And that what mattered was for me to understand that this really happened to me, and this is my truth. And they knew whether they believed it or they didn't believe it. It was painful to realize that you are being doubted for something that happened
Can
to
imagine.
you.
Yeah.
But you get, I feel like as you go through healing and everything, you get to a point of understanding that this is your truth, and what they think out of this, you have no
is nothing,
control
yeah.
over it. So it was not easy, because it even caused a little bit of disattachment between me and my mother. It was not easy, but I had to learn. I had to learn, and I had to heal. Part of my healing was to forgive people who didn't even ask for apology.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get it? You get to
Yeah.
say, oh, but, and
You are
then
doing it for you.
because you
Yeah.
have to do it for you at the end of the day.
True.
Yeah. I almost dropped out of my
You
grade
know,
12.
hey, so whatever. Now you have two
Two
degrees.
and I'm going for another 2
Yeah,
postgraduate.
exactly. Tell about that one.
So-
a girl who once said, I can say it, I'm dropping out.
Actually, I dropped out for a few weeks.
Yeah.
For a few weeks, I was not going to school
Yes.
in my grade 12. And I think that's why my result was so not okay.
Yeah.
But then someone spoke sense to me, and I went back to grade 12. But I was doing it for, like, as long as I'm going to school, let me just get this one done. I remember when I wrote my CPD, it was my last paper on the 31st of November. It was 2 p.m. paper. And then I went to look for a job in the morning. Sasol Garage on the N1. Zavidiela Sasol Garage, sort of. And then I got the job, and I went and write. And then the following day
Go
I started
back.
to work. Like, when I got my result, I had passed with a certificate. And I was like, but I want a degree in community development. And it was not easy because I was not qualifying.
Yeah.
And as far as that time was a little bit not possible
Yeah,
to get it.
today.
It was not accessible as it is now.
Today, yeah.
Now it's very accessible. So I went to UNIS and I explained that I need to study this degree. I want this degree. And then they said to me, I can do NQ level 5, and then I'll qualify for a degree. I did that. I did NQ level 5 in urban teaching.
Okay.
And then
Or different or
yes,
you wanted
before
entry, something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was like a bridge sort of.
Yeah, bridge,
Then
yeah.
it gave me entry to a degree. Then I did my degree in community development. And then I did my other degree in government administration and development. I'm currently thinking of pursuing honors in gender studies and
Possible,
postgraduate.
guys. It is possible.
It's very possible. And postgraduate diploma
Yes.
in monitoring and evaluation. I will decide which one I go for. But the thing with me was like I knew what I wanted. I wanted a PhD, and even now I gave myself a 40-year time frame. So I'm still under youth, so I still have the opportunity to do it.
Yes,
I know
girl.
when I get to 40, I will get my great gown. So I'm working towards that, and it's something that I gave it up. And the other thing that discouraged me when I got rejected, community development was only offered at Huguenot College in KZN.
Okay.
And when I got rejected, I was discouraged. That's why even my matric, I was like, what is the use?
Yeah.
But I always say God has bigger plans for us than
Amen.
we think. Everything for me aligned at the end of the day. I got my degree in community development. I was not satisfied. I was like, but I need post.
Yeah.
Then I had another degree. Now I qualified for a post. I'm currently being accepted for 2.
Wow.
UNISA and Stellenbosch University. Then I'll choose which one I do, and then I go forward.
It is possible. Black child, it is possible.
Very possible.
Yeah.
One thing about me, I always say, impossible is something that we create in our head.
Yes.
It's a non-existent word. I don't believe that word exists.
Yeah.
Because I come from a background where I was going to school barefooted. I come from a background where the only one in the location. I come from a background where I was bullied for where I come from.
Yeah.
The only time I became popular at school is when I became good at maths and science. And then I had friends because they wanted maths and science. You get it? And I think that those are the things that teaches you that when people comes to you, they want something.
Yes.
And you just become like, every relationship you treat it that way as a transaction, because you were introduced to life as this is a transaction.
Something.
So I come from a very poor background, but I've turned around very well. I'm shooting the best podcast in Limpopo. I wrote my book. I have my 2 qualifications. I'm working on my 2nd book, which will be coming very soon, next year though. And I'm pursuing postgrad qualifications.
Wow.
And I'm working for one of the best organizations in South Africa.
Wow.
I traveled across South Africa.
A lot.
And outside. You see? So when I look at a young girl at my age, I'm like, you can do it.
Yeah.
Where you are right now does not determine where you're going.
Future.
So whatever that you want, especially now, guys, there's so much access to resources. If you want to start your business, there's so much support.
Yeah.
If you want to go to school, there's so much support. It's not like, I know I'm not an old person, but when we were growing up, access was limited.
Yes,
Even
exactly.
to information. We didn't know the things that we know now. NYDA now is on the ground doing the work. People have access to offices. Offices are no longer centralized in Pretoria. We have offices in every district.
Oh,
you get it?
Nice.
So there's access to everything. Let's just fight for our lives. That's what I will say.
So, if I may ask, why community development? Like, is it?
My passion has always been about helping people.
Yeah.
When I was still at school, I'll help even community members. I remember there was one young boy in our neighborhood. The mother was very sick, and the sister was always out. Like, those girls who go to a tavern and not come back.
Yeah.
I remember that boy would cry the whole night, the whole day, and I took that boy. I was very young. I took that boy to the social worker's office. That has been me about helping. And there was this woman, I don't know where she is now. She was mentally not okay, and she would put a young girl in a trolley, in a bin. You see this bin that you can push, and then she will go to town and come back. And I don't know, from 14 or 15 years I've been following that case. It never got resolved, but somewhere, somehow I heard that that young girl has been taken out of the care of that woman. So I've always had this thing of help. It's my passion. This is my passion.
Yeah.
I'm not misplaced.
Yes.
One thing about me, I know I'm not misplaced. That's why I'm doing the Inspire
Yeah.
Foundation, where
Oh.
we've recruited young girls that will be mentoring into the roles of leaderships and everything. So that this thing has been my passion. Like I always say to people that you can't get rich if you are doing community work. There's no money.
Oh, it's just the passion.
They're just the passion and being fulfilled of
Yeah.
the things that you're
You
doing on the
do,
ground
yeah.
and the impact that you see in the society to say, wow, people's lives are being changed. When we speak about our lives, we know that people are getting inspired and they are changing something. You might speak to 100 people, but 2 people might change, and
Yeah.
that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah.
That's really enough.
So it started at a very young age
Very
when you
young
were
age.
helping the boy. You didn't even know there's maybe community development at that time, but you
didn't.
did it.
Yeah.
You just did. You went there and helped someone. That's
I didn't know. I knew about community development when I was doing grade 12 career guidance. And one of the teachers that was teaching me, Mem Nogo, has now resigned as a teacher and then went to do community development. And then she was presenting on it. Then that's when I knew that there is my career.
There's my career.
And that time they only offered it at Huguenot College and it was not available in most universities. UNISA is the first recent university to introduce it as a qualification.
Yeah, okay.
Then I was one of the first enrollers.
First, oh.
So it worked so well.
God's favorite child.
I am.
Okay, no, yeah. So now let's move to family or your firstborn. When did you have your firstborn?
I was 16 and then I had my second born when I was 19, my third born when I was 23. So like 3-4 years different in between.
How was it having a child at 16?
It was not easy because that's the reason why I wanted to quit school.
Oh.
Because financial and everything, I had to be now responsible and for everything. And when I had my second born, it was also still not easy, but financially I was not struggling because the father was someone who had the means of
to provide.
And then when I had my third child, at least now I was working for the government. I was
then
good.
Things were easy.
But being a single parent, whether you have the man or what, like it's double the work.
Yeah.
It's double the work because raising kids it's not easy, even when you have someone to
require a lot.
You get it?
Even from both parents. It's not enough. I wish Rikawali number 3
You
to
get
come in. That's why we have aunties here and there. Some parents, they don't know. They don't even know how to do home because they don't have time. They need to put bread on the table.
And
so
now
someone
with the
must help
economy,
us. Yeah, with the economy. So yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah, I
can
it has
imagine.
Not been, yeah, and also like maybe just to bring their issue is like I was not well. I was still dealing with a lot that I was dealing with the healing and everything, and I was showing up like that. There was a time that I had to start healing them from the pain that I caused them. So the healing was not for me only, it was also for them to heal from the pain that I've caused them because of where I was at that space. You get it? So it has not been easy, but
you are doing it well, like
no, it has
effortless.
Now it has
I know you're that mama.
You get it?
Yeah. I'm proud of you,
Thanks.
But every day, like, wow.
This woman.
This woman. How do you do it, Batung?
I don't know.
And then the mental health issues, even though we cannot go deeper, but just to to be this person, like, yeah.
It was work.
It
was work. Our next episode we will speak about issues of mental health and what is required. But mental health is like, it's work. You need to really put in the energy, the work, and you need to be intentional about it. It was work. But when we go into our next episode, we'll going
talk more about it.
What transpired.
Thank you. And work, you mentioned where you were working for government, the third child.
Yes.
where are you now? What are you doing, girl? The podcast, busy.
I left government in 2022 and I joined the civil society sector.
Oh, okay.
And when I left the government, so many people were so scared for me. I remember someone saying, Kate, how can you leave a permanent job for it? Because I left the government, it was full time.
Yeah.
And then I left it for 2-year contract.
And then you took that risk,
I
girl.
took the risk because I was not saved.
Yeah.
I was not saved. Yes, I was saving, but I was not
yeah.
saved. And now I'm doing a lot of things. I'm working with civil society NPOs around Limpopo, and then I'm also working on my other time, like I'm saying, Inspire Hair Foundation. And then I have
talk
businesses.
about that now because I'm interested. It's coming for the second time now. Inspire Hair. I want to know about that after this.
So I have Musarike Plani. I think many people knows about it.
Yeah.
And then there's this.
It's the one that I see. You were Brandy Apron. You are selling.
Yes, and then we also have a cleaning division.
Oh, okay.
Inside it.
We are growing, man.
We are growing. We have a cleaning division.
Yeah.
And then now we have branched into to impact consultant. Okay. Something very new, still coming.
Okay.
I think it will come. And then Inspire Hair. I have passion about young girls, especially young mothers. I feel like the society is leaving out young mothers. Once you get pregnant, you are left outside, especially with the issue of in your own household. They will say you've got taboo, you've disappointed us and everything. You go to the society and then you're being isolated because you are a bad influence to the kids. You go to church, you have sinned, you don't belong anywhere.
Yeah.
So Inspire Hair, I was inspired, I was trying to bring young women, especially young mothers, together to get that space of safety to say, even if all these places I'm alone, but at least I'll have a group of people.
Exactly,
And also about offering second opportunities to young mothers, because I don't believe it's over because you got pregnant.
Yeah.
But because you don't have the support that you need,
you
might end up losing out on so many things.
Yeah.
So it's all about just creating a safe space for young girls and young mothers to come together, inspire each other, and then we will be mentoring them in a one long year mentorship, but we'll keep them in the program and then recruit another group. Currently we have like 20 young girls that we're mentoring.
Wow. You know, your life, ne? Shem, what's working is inspiring. Like, Bona, a young girl, why we the one at the age of 16 today, you are the one who's saying, come, Itlang, there is this,
there's hope.
There's hope.
Yes.
You know, your life is a testimony. I don't want to lie, it is a testimony.
Yes.
Things that happened, they happened for a reason. Today, there's you'll be sitting here talking about this thing, and when someone if I want more hope out there, opportunity to watch this podcast, they will say, okay, it means I have a baby, doesn't mean so I'm happy. I'm happy. Your journey, like, wow.
So as we carried, I will add to what you are saying to say it is possible.
Yeah.
It is doable. You don't have to limit yourself to anything.
Yes.
Conditions might not be the same, and your journey might be harder because your condition is not the same with the next person, but it's still possible. All you need to do is to fight. Wow. And I believe that this podcast is going to create safe space for us to have these conversations, like going to the next podcast that is going to go deep into mental health, and other podcasts that will be creating to say, this is the safe space. Let's speak about real issues, real challenges that we are faced with, issues that we don't really speak about. To say there's a teenage girl out there. What kind of support are we providing as a society, as a family, where she comes from? Like when my daughter got pregnant, I created a safe space for her and a different support that I wished that I had. So those kind of the conversations that will be heavy. And we would like people like you who would like to come and join the conversation.
I'm definitely coming back.
And make these conversations meaningful and transformative. So I hope we'll be hosting you again, and then you'll
Yeah.
be coming again, and then we'll be speaking about
Thank
other
you
shit.
for that.
Thank you for
I would
coming.
like to come back.
And thank you for co-hosting this opening episode with us.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much for tuning in, and we are looking forward to the next episode that is on mental health, and we are hoping you'll tune in. Please engage with us on our socials. Tell us where you want us to improve and engage with us. We are hosting our podcast at the Vega Game Lodge on the N1 between Polokwane, on the R101, sorry, between Polokwane and Mokopane. You should come and check out the place. It's a nice place. They have horse riding. They have, what do you call this?
Quad bikes.
Quad bikes. They have pools, and they also have your game drive. So please check them out on their socials also. And thank you very much for tuning in.